Web Development, Key Concepts, copyright Peter Thompson, August 2013. Web development starts with a clear understanding of a purpose or a problem. It doesn't start with HTML design. First of all, we want to consider details of the information, the structure, and the navigation that form the core of our understanding. Each of these three concepts can be considered an overview of more detailed concepts, and as we look at these more detailed concepts, we get into items such as the structure of a website, the page structure. Are we a hierarchical structure, or are we going to access it like a catalogue through item numbers or through searching? We need to consider the nature of the information. Does this information have structure? Who will be using our website? Who is the target audience? So do we consider accessibility and usability? Do we hold information that might be of value to others? What aspects of security do we need to consider? If we're storing information, there are also legal aspects to consider. What will be the nature of the user's interaction with the website? How do we make this maintainable or extendable? How do we ensure responsiveness? These are all core concepts that we need to consider before we look at actually designing the website. Many of these concepts interact with each other in complex ways and cannot be considered in isolation. So our core analysis of our website design starts with the purpose or problem, and as we investigate this further, we can expand outwards into detailed concepts and explore all the possibilities and requirements and all the decisions that we need to make as we consider our website development. These all form an important checklist when we have completed the development and we are reviewing it and checking it and testing it. Now let us consider the brief of a website for the members of a walking club. The purpose of this website is to communicate details of walks, date, time, location, perhaps maps, details of social events or group holidays, to encourage sharing transport. Members need to be able to update their own details, names, addresses, telephone numbers. They need to be able to share photos, GPS tracks, reports of walks, and news. Each aspect of our design brief now needs to be evaluated against each option that we have created on our development document. I have now created a simple hierarchical diagram of the proposed website and sketched a simple wireframe template that will indicate the structure for most of the pages. I've discussed this wireframe template with the club committee, and they've suggested a right-hand side sidebar to include club notices or club adverts. But apart from that, they're very happy with this proposal. Next, I will make the folder structure that will hold all the files that make up the website as they're developed, and at this stage I should put them under version control. Next, I want an HTML template that gives me a wireframe that matches the layout of my initial sketch. I'm going to use a code generator for this. I've downloaded the code, extracted it from zip file, and moved the HTML and the CSS files into my folders that I created earlier. I've changed the name of the downloaded HTML file, and now I'm going to open this file in the program Composer, and we'll see what the downloaded wireframe looks like at this stage. I'm happy with that, and I'm also going to examine the CSS file in Notepad++, and it's nicely set out and clearly labeled each item, so I'm also happy with the CSS file from the generator. Next, I want a set of menu tabs for the wireframe, and I'm going to use a generator again. The HTML code is straightforward, but the CSS is a little more complicated. Do check that the CSS variant is suited for your development. I need to copy the HTML code into the HTML code div for the menu, and I need to copy the CSS code into the end of my CSS file. I also need to download a couple of images and place these in my images file. Now, with the HTML code pasted in for the menu and the CSS code pasted in, I can see what my wireframe looks like at this stage. With the wireframe template complete, I can copy this code to each of the pages that I've named in the menu and check navigation in a browser.